I haven't talked about the GTA 6 situation at all. You know, a lot of people are making videos about GTA 6 in general, and I kind of step aside all that. I don't want to do the same content everybody's making, but I do want to talk about this apology letter that they put out about this gameplay leak. Yeah, the leaks are all over the place. I haven't watched any of them. I don't plan to look at any of them, but yeah, their gameplay leaks all over the place, and it is what it is. But nevertheless, they put out an apology about it, and I want to read this and give you my thoughts and opinions on it. Also, I want to talk about something that Xbox is doing, which is absolutely phenomenal, all things considered, based on the plight of physical and digital games. So let's get into the Rockstar thing first. It says, "Dear all, we may know many of you have been waiting to hear from us regarding the events of past week. It would be an understatement to say that having videos of GTA 6 gameplay leak in this way has been heartbreaking for our team, and this is obviously not how we intended for you to see the game after all this time. We are very sorry that everything is taking so long as it has, from getting the game finished, nearly there, to sharing more details of an official gameplay and providing the community with everything you want to know." Now, with that first paragraph, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been so desensitized to this whole GTA 6 thing. I don't even care if it comes out or when it comes out. I really, really don't care at this point, because this is the thing, right? I've heard so much about this game. I'm not saying that I'm not going to play it, but I've heard so much about this game, I'm not even hyped about it no more. It has just been oversaturated with all of this stuff. So with these leaks and them saying that they're sorry, I could really care less. So that's my initial thoughts about all of this in this apology letter. All right, let's get to the second paragraph. We are very excited for everyone to see the extended look tomorrow, which is the 27th. So that is today's the 26th as of this recording. It has taken longer than we wanted to get it ready, but with everything as with everything we do, we know we need to exceed your expectations, and we are determined to deliver at the level you would expect and deserve. Now, that's one thing I would say. Rockstar has always put out products that actually, blown people away, exceeded our expectations. I mean, outside of the definitive edition of the trilogy, they've done pretty solid on all their stuff. And I've been playing their stuff since the PS1 days. So there's no dissension there. While it's unfortunate that the intended game experience may now be impacted by some spoilers, we hope that everyone will wait a bit longer to experience the game for themselves on November 19th. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's spoilers, it is what it is, but if you really want to play it, you're going to play it. So November 19th, knock yourself out. If you want to buy this game or whatever, go ahead and knock yourself out. And I'll get to the purchasing part in a second. At the end of the day, this is the last paragraph. They said, "We want to thank everyone in the community has reached out with messages of support this past week. Your words have meant more to this team than you can imagine. Ultimately, we are making the game for you, and without you, we will not have the privilege of making games." Now, I will say one thing about this as well. Rockstar has that cachet to actually get praise for what they do. Now, I know everybody's talking about the situation with physical games or whatever, which I'll talk about that when we get to the next topic. But they've done more than enough to get the graces of them, even if they make a bad game. They get a pass. You got to understand, I've been rocking with them since like GTA 1, in London 1969, GTA 2 on a Dreamcast. I've been that far back. And I don't even want to get into the part where it goes from GTA 3 on. There's nothing to talk about there. There are some of the greatest games that ever been released, and some of my favorite games. So, yeah, even if GTA 6 is a dud, they get a pass. So, with all of this is going on, I don't necessarily, think that this is, boohoo whine and crying for the company or whatever. But I do understand, like, hey, they've done a lot to get a lot of cachet. Now, with that being said, when it comes to purchasing, and I'm gonna talk about the physical digital thing in a second. When it comes to purchasing, I'm more likely will not be buying this game day one. I mean, I'm just gonna continue to sidestep this game while everybody buy into the hype, and whatever happens from there, I will be more likely playing this game when it comes to PC, or when it be on a heavily discount at this point. Because I'm not really that hyped for this game anymore. I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, oh yeah, GTA 6 is out. Cool. I'm not in a rush to play this game. And I mean, I'm not saying that to down the game. It's just, I'm just not there anymore. The hype has pretty much died with all of this going on. So Hopefully Rockstar has a solid release. Everything's going good. I'm pretty sure that they already made money on the game and people are buying it. They're gonna have fun. Enjoy yourself, knock yourself out. I will be playing this game at a later date. To be quite honest, I will probably be trying to play The Witcher 3 because they just remastered that. And I'm probably gonna be playing E-Day, Gears E-Day, and probably some racing games or whatever. That's probably where I'll be knocking it out the park with that. So with that being said, that's how I feel about that. We're going to jump onto this other topic because I really love what Xbox is doing here. What Xbox is doing with this the digital thing is really, really cool. It brings a little bit of compromise to this whole digital versus this type thing where people want to hold on to the physical stuff and people want to hold on, and go all digital. I think this is a pretty good compromise, and it gives people who have this like me, gives them a chance to digitize their stuff and just, keep their products that they purchase. So I think this is an excellent, excellent move. So let's talk about this. Shout out to Jason Ronald, VP of Next Generation of Xbox. And it says your disc now also digital. Now, let's get into this. It says players have spent decades of building their Xbox libraries. Some games were purchased on disc, some were purchased digitally. Many span multiple generations of hardware. Yeah, cause I remember, I bought digital games from a 360 and on and on and on. Yeah. Our goal is to make it easier for those libraries to move forward with players. Today, we're introducing a feature that brings the benefits to digital to physical discs and giving players more flexibility in how they access and play supported games across Xbox ecosystem. Xbox insiders can begin testing this week. Or next week on August 31st. This is a part of broader commitment to game preservation. Technology and devices and distribution continue to evolve, preserving access to games people own matters more than ever. All right, let's look at this. Most Xbox and Xbox Series X disc-based games support this new feature. Players can claim digital entitlement by inserting a supported disc to an Xbox One or Xbox Series X console and launching the game. Once the entitlement is claimed, you can experience the benefits of digital, including Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Cloud Gaming, where supported, while your physical disc continues to work exactly as it has. That right there, that paragraph right there is exactly what you would like to see when you have situations where technology is or not necessarily expanding, but is actually evolving. You want your disc to be able to be used in other places, just like very similar to like iPods or let's say for instance with the iTunes. I remember taking my CDs and putting those CDs into my disk drive on my computer and turning those into MP3s and MP4s. And I can still use that disc if I want to use that CD. It's the same thing. And this is exactly what should have happened. I don't know what Sony was thinking just to end it all together. Maybe they do have something like this similar, but this is the route that all of these companies should have taken. Either that or take what Nintendo was doing and doing their thing with the, with the key, not the key cards, but the, what's the other thing? The actual key cartridges, or the game cartridge. They should have done something like that. So this is what you want. We're starting thousands of titles and we'll continue to add more over time. While not every title will be available at launch, this is an important step toward a future where players can have greater confidence that games they buy will remain with them for years to come. I don't see where there's a problem with this. And I know like people like they're physical forever, this, that, and the third. This is the move that companies should have made, because one thing you don't want to leave behind the people who did buy their discs and say they can't use them anymore, because I'm not even sure if the PlayStation 6 or the Xbox Project Helix, we don't even know if they're going to even have a disc drive. But to do something like this, you will want to keep your Xbox One or Xbox Series around, or just while you're at it, just go ahead and use your disc and turn them into digital license and go on to the next generation. I think this is I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is probably like the perfect scenario with the way technology is. I mean, obviously the perfect situation would be for them to let you play your disc and always have a disc drive, but this is probably like the perfect move for everything that's going on right now. So kudos to Xbox. I would definitely be turning a lot of my games into digital licenses, because then, like I said right here, play anywhere, I wonder how many of those games that you're going to actually be able to play on PC. Because if some of those games aren't on PC and they actually could play anywhere on PC, that just goes back to the whole thing that Xbox was trying to do, saying like you could take some 360 games that are going to be backwards compatible to PC at some point. This is probably the way that they're going to do it. So this is really pretty dope at the end of the day, because when you look at your 360 games or whatever the case may be, if you look at your Xbox One games, wait a minute, I don't think they said that. Let me back up. I don't think they said 360 games are going to be included with this. I want to stand corrected. I don't think so. But nevertheless, Xbox One games, this is one of the best ways to do that. You know, but anyway, like I said, the Xbox 360 library that are already backwards compatible, I think they're trying to move those to PC anyway. So, I mean, they're already doing it with original Xbox. So, either way, this is a win-win. I don't see where there's a problem with this. But nevertheless, you guys let me know what you think. I think the whole situation with Rockstar is like, whatever. But when you look at Xbox, this is actually some good news that you don't really hear much, you know? And I try my best to try to bring good news, because every time you look around, there's a lot of doom and gloom when it comes to news, when it comes to gaming. It's kind of sad. But nevertheless, you guys let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.